Hey, welcome back to the Technical Institute. Today we're going to be going over slide toppers. Now, think of a slide topper like a awning for your slide out. Now, the purpose of a slide topper is to help keep dirt, debris, maybe tree branches, or maybe even the kids' toys from getting up on top of that slide box, so when you go to retract it, nothing's getting damaged on the inside of that coach. Now, our slide toppers, the Solera slide topper, pretty easily identifiable. On this arm right here, at the very top, it's got a stamp with an LCI in it. So right then and there, you know that it's a Lippert Solera slide topper. Now, our slide toppers are 66 inches up to 192 inches. So as long as your slide box falls within that range, we can get something to work for you so you can help prevent any dirt and debris from settling on top of there. As far as operation goes, if you're extending that room, this fabric right here should be going with the room. If you're retracting the room, the slide topper should be going back with it as well. Maintenance is fairly simple. A little hot water, go ahead and brush that on there, let it set for a couple minutes, and then go ahead and hose it off. We don't want any dirt, mildew, mold being allowed to grow on that fabric. Now, as far as installation goes, some units may have this prep kit. This is the excess plate. This guy will be mounted to the sidewall of the box itself, and then the excess bracket just slides over that excess plate. You tighten down, and that makes installation a lot easier, a lot faster. Now, up here you got this little black guy right here. He's attached to the end of the awning, this end cap right here. That's what we call the anti-billowing device. So when the awning, when that slide topper rather, is fully retracted, so when this slide out's fully retracted and you're getting ready to go down the road, as wind's coming, it's not building up underneath that fabric and allowing this fabric to kind of pull away or billow, and prevents that from happening. So that's what this little black arm right here attached to that end cap is. Speaking of fabric, the Solera fabric is universal. So maybe you don't have a Solera slide topper, that's all right. Maybe you need to replace the fabric that exists on your current one. Since our fabric is universal, it fits a majority of the slide topper brands. So even if you just need to replace the bracket, or the fabric, we can still help you with that. Now what we're going to move into is some basic maintenance and troubleshooting. Maintenance is straightforward and very basic. All you're going to do is take a quarter cup of dish soap, mix it into a 5-gallon bucket with some water, and then you're going to fully extend the room. That'll open up that slide topper fabric for you. And you're just going to apply that soapy water to the fabric. Once you get that applied, go ahead and retract the room and let that sit for 5 minutes. Once the room's retracted, that fabric is rolling up, obviously, and that allows that hot soapy water to sit inside and kind of clean it for you, basically. Once that's done, go ahead and extend that room all the way back out, take a hose out, and just hose off that fabric and let it air dry. All right, we don't want to roll that room up when it's wet, or roll that fabric up when it's wet. Otherwise, that's when we can get mildew and all that stuff growing inside of there. So if it's been left out, if the room has been fully extended and that slide topper is fully extended, let it air dry if possible, or as soon as you can. All right. Other than that, basic maintenance, some things you want to keep an eye on is if you have loose fabric or if it looks like it's sagging, that could be either not enough tension in the springs or that the heads are loose on your roll tube. So those would be two things to check. If you're noticing sort of skid marks on your fabric, you could have some dirt or debris that got caught up on your fabric, and as you're rolling it in, it could just be kind of leaving those skid marks on that fabric. If you go to extend the room and the fabric won't go out with it, verify you've removed those pull pins, those cotter pins. If you haven't removed those, that'll prevent that awning or that slide topper from being able to operate correctly, which could damage either the slide topper itself or potentially the sidewall of your coach. So verify those have been removed before you start any operation. Once it's installed, you don't need to put any cotter pins back in unless you're starting to do any service to the slide topper itself. If you're retracting the room and the fabric doesn't want to roll up properly, it could be, again, that the tension on your springs isn't proper, so we want to verify that the springs have the proper tension on them. Other than that, that's basic maintenance. We've gone over the installation. If you have any other questions, You can find the documentation and videos online. That's lci1.com, and just click on the support tab. You can look further into other slide topper options.